Well, we've talked about the importance of building a purpose-driven mindset. We've talked about fostering community inside the organization. And now we're going to talk about how structure brings that all together. So, Mike Jones, I want to start with you. Why is structure such a critical part of the triangle?
David, as we thought about what are the topics that we need to address, this really stood out as the third topic. It's such a key enabler of purpose, of community, but it's also just an enabler for all of us to be at our best and to feel good about what we do. All of us right now are out of our grooves. We normally get up at the same time. We have rhythms of our lives that we normally follow that include going to work in whatever way. Most of us are out of all those grooves. Everything has changed. And if we don't recreate the right rhythms in our lives, some good rhythms, some healthy rhythms, we're not going to be at our best, and our team's not going to be at our best, and we're not going to feel good about what we do as individuals. And so we really chose to highlight this one just little story that I would highlight. My wife had a young woman that she mentors, and she related this funny from a conversation yesterday where she talked to the young woman. The young woman said, "I haven't put on makeup in 9 days and I feel out of sorts." It's that kind of even little stuff that just throws us out of our groove, doesn't allow us to be our best and feel good about what we do. So we really think structure is a critical topic to address.
Yeah, honestly, I woke up this morning and wasn't even sure what day it was. It's happening to everybody. Well, and I like how you've given us really specific and practical advice. So what should a leader be doing to help their teams create structure?
Yeah, I think it's got to start again with you as a leader. You've got to think about your own rhythms. What's the right structure for me? How do I create healthy structure in my day, in my week, in this environment? How do I really be most effective? All of us are a little different here, so that this isn't a one size fits all. It needs to be what works well for me and also works well for me to do what I need to do for others. So I need to really think about and design that structure for myself and begin to put the rhythms in place. We've got, for example, in my life, we've got a bunch of kids home right now, adult kids that are home from college and or from their workplaces. They're working from here. So we got a bunch of folks in the house. My wife and I have chosen every day to take a walk at 5 p.m. It's one little thing we can do to create a rhythm that kind of grounds us, that reconnects us. I think we all as leaders need to think about ourselves first and how we create those kind of rhythms. And then similar to what I had to do with my wife, think about how do we relate to our teams? We certainly need to catalyze and foster some rhythms for our teams. In some organizations, a daily huddle works. That might be great here, a short 20, 30-minute call in the middle or beginning of the day for our teams every day. Or it may be once or twice or maybe 3 times a week. It depends on your team. But to think about that and build that in for your team. And I would want to pass it to my colleague, Sean Bennett, to really say, okay, that feels a little uncomfortable or awkward. How do I have a conversation with one of my folks about, do they have the right structure? Are they feeling okay about the structure in their life and in their work? They're out of their groove. You know, Sean, how would you speak to that? How would you have an appropriate kind of discussion with a work colleague as a supervisor? How would you do that in a way that's healthy and appropriate for the workplace?
Yeah, the situation is important because we don't want to overimpose structure onto somebody else that might not fit their situation. So really, as you know me, Mike, I always would want, as a leader, to leverage questions, open-ended questions that would help people discover their own best practices around their structure. Questions like, when you think about your day, what are the most important things to get done? If you had to design your day, including meetings, conversations with colleagues, collaboration, kind of alone time to get your own things done, how might you structure your time that would fit so you can be most productive for team outcomes, but also to fit into the newness of our personal life fluidity as well, right? So always I would leverage open-ended questions to help them think more critically, because what we're trying to do is help them own their own structure so they can create their own muscle memory about the realities of our new situation.
Yeah, great stuff, Sean. Thanks for adding that. And Mike, I'm going to let you net out this section. So what is that specific call to action or mantra that leaders should remember about structure?
Yeah. I think here, David, the key is just to realize we're all out of our grooves, and it's critical that we personally, and then for our team and for our team members, we help build new grooves, new rhythms, new structure that allows us to be effective and to feel good about what we do. It's critical to do that at this moment as a leader.
Great job, guys. So we have covered purpose, community, and structure. Really appreciate all the great advice today for leaders. Thank you so much for being on the show.